All right, let's talk about this company right here. This is Olive Knives. I believe they started selling knives as a company back in October of 2024. Now it's April of 2025, so right around 6 months. So obviously it's a company I've never heard of before. So when they got a hold of me, asking me if I wanted to check out their new knife, which is this guy right here, the Olive Knives Lenta, I sort of ignored their emails. First off, I rarely get any knife company contacting me wanting me to do a knife review for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why. And second, if a company does get a hold of me, it's usually some D2 fixed blade or something like that, $20, $30 range. Then I went to the website and I saw the price tag on this and I'm like, what? But then I saw what the blade steel was made of, and then I understood why. Just because a lot of knives made of this material is just very, very expensive for some reason. First off, look at this blade. Yeah, that is a tungsten carbide blade, and it is absolutely gorgeous and sharp AF. This might be, I had to put this to the test, the sharpest knife in my collection. It is razor sharp. So when I saw it was a tungsten carbide blade and all of the other goodness that you see here, I emailed back and say, yeah, I can do a video on your knife. And honestly, I'm glad I did because this is one cool knife. So let's start talking about some of the features here. I'll put the box off to the side. I'll talk about the box a little bit later on in this video. So this blade here is a 3.134 inch 71 HRC toughened tungsten carbide drop point blade. I'm not really sure if you guys can see, but that is a Scandi grind, one of my favorite grinds on a knife. Scandi grinds are usually very, very sharp, and this guy is no exception. Look at that edge. It is just all edge here. Here, focus. There you go. If I try to get in close, hopefully my camera doesn't unfocus again. I want you guys to see that edge right there. And yes, it is as sharp as it looks. I'll cut some paper for you guys in a little bit, but I'm really digging this tungsten carbide blade with that Scandi grind. And as I already mentioned, the HRC is 71. So if you guys are familiar with tungsten carbide usually has a very high hardness and really good wear resistance. But because it's so hard and rigid, it can be a little bit more brittle than something like steel or stainless steel. So most steels can absorb impact a little bit better than tungsten carbide, because if you whack on this hard enough, yeah, it could break. It's just the hardness and rigidity of tungsten carbide. Plus, this is an extremely thin blade, 1.5 millimeters. And you guys can see that. Yeah, that makes this a very slicey knife, but I might be a little worried breaking this blade if I go hard on anything. I'm not sure. I didn't do a stress test or anything like that on this yet. Maybe it can handle it, maybe it can't. I don't know, I haven't tested it. But being as thin as it is and tungsten carbide, I'm not gonna be batoning with this knife anytime soon. Not that you should with the folder anyways, I'm just saying. But anyways, let's get back to the knife here. Like I already mentioned, the blade is 3.134 inches long. Overall, it's 7.94 inches long. The Lenta is available in aluminum G10, and then the version that I have right here, which is a black textured GF nylon. And I'll get in real close so you can see those GF nylon handles there. Pretty nice grip. I mean, the ergos here are really nice. No hot spots at all. And usually I'm not the biggest fan of GF nylon, but this actually feels really good with that texture. You can see what I'm talking about right there. And you can see the lock bar. So what makes this lock bar really cool is it's operated with 2 compressed springs right there that are exposed. Try to give you guys a nice look at those springs right there. Since they're exposed, they're cleaned very, very easy. I saw a video on their Instagram page, I think it was their Instagram page, where a dude just dunked this in some sand, got sand all up in there, just rinsed it off with some water, and it was completely cleaned. So that's a really interesting design choice right there. Plus, let me see if I can, there you go. So the washers right there, oversized phosphor bronze washers. These things are huge. So those phosphor bronze washers will last a long time. Plus the action here is really, really good. Extremely smooth action. And that's not the only thing that's oversized on this knife. Look at this pivot. So this pivot right there. Pretty big, and the fastener in the back, which I thought looked really cool when I first saw this knife, but then I was thinking, what size is that? And I had to grab my Torx wrench and start looking here. This is a T30 bit right there. So obviously it's very unconventional to have your pivot that size to be a T30, but for me, I carry this in my backpack, in my car, everywhere I go, so it's not going to be a huge deal. But that could be a deal breaker for a lot of you. It's not a T6 or a T8, it's a T30. So just keep that in mind if you've been looking at the Lenta here. Plus the fastener in the rear here is also used as a lanyard hole. Just thread your lanyard right through there and it'll go right through the pocket clip as well, as you can see. Now let's talk about this pocket clip. It's a fully deep carry pocket clip, which is fantastic, and it's tip up only and reversible. Couple that with this crossbar lock and that makes this an ambidextrous knife. So you lefties out there, good news. Absolutely no jimping on the spine of the blade. There is some jimping at the very end of those liners right there, so that's good. Also, it does have a nice finger groove right there and a little finger choil, not on the blade, but at the end of the handle. So if you want to choke up, this feels pretty good. And if I come back to the blade here, you can see it also has a thumb hole. I'm not the biggest fan of opening this with the thumb hole because that is pretty sharp. So I like the Spidey flick, right? I like to do the Spidey flick. You can do it, but it takes a lot of force. Oh man, let me do it again. Yeah, not really working very well. I was doing it earlier, and when I was doing it, because this thumb hole was so sharp, it was just scraping off my fingernail into the thumb hole. So if you guys like to do the Spidey flick, hold on, let me do this. I'm gonna get it. There we go. So if you guys like to do that, just be careful. A lot of your fingernail material is gonna end up right under that thumb hole. That's no big deal. I've been just opening it with the lock bar or just, you know, like a gentleman, just like that, like a Boy Scout. Also, this is designed and assembled right here in the USA. The materials are sourced from other countries, some from Italy, South Africa, and some sourced right here in the USA, but still designed and assembled right here, so that's nice. I just wish it didn't have that high price tag. I get it, tungsten carbide is expensive for whatever reason, but it is a hefty price to pay for a knife these days. And I can't really knock a company for charging so much for a knife. I mean, you have the option to buy it. Either you want it or you don't. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention with that pocket clip is this inset. You can see it's recessed right there, which is one of my favorite things. So when you put it in your pocket, especially being deep carry, it's not going to get snagged on any material there. So that's another plus. And let me show you guys the packaging here. So it came in this box, Outplay, Outlast, Outlive. And inside there was another Olive Knives box right there, magnetic front right there. And inside there are some stickers right here. Very cool. Manual, which is nice. And this was a surprise, some camping recipes. There's a bunch of recipes in there. I mean, what is this? Fireside foil feasts. You know what I'm saying? Like ribeye steak, very nice. So very cool addition inside of the packaging. And you can see right there where the knife came. So nice packaging here, and the knife itself, I'm pretty impressed, guys. The Olive Knives Lenta, I'll put a link down below in my description box if you guys want to see what Olive Knives is charging for the Lenta. But like I said, overall, I'm impressed. I'm probably not going to hard use this knife at all, just based on that 1.5 millimeter tungsten carbide blade. But this is sharp. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot the sharpness, my paper cutting test. I'll be right back.
The next day.
Yeah, I can't believe I almost forgot that. And this knife is scary sharp. Like I said, this might be the sharpest knife in my collection. I mean, look at this. It is effortless to slice through this paper. Look at this. What? I mean, that is scary sharp. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. What do you think of the Olive Knives Lenta? If you want to check it out for yourself, I will put links down below in my description box. But if you did enjoy this video, please give me that thumbs up. Please subscribe and go.